She's a traditional business owner. She's a mom. She's a wife. Her husband's name is Brad, who's a buddy of mine. She volunteers at the community. She serves in the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. Wow. She takes care of her dad, and now she made RVP in 3.5 years, and we just love her to death. At least I do. She's a little piece of leather, but she's well put together. She's a dynamo. Look out. Without further ado, can we give a warm welcome to none of them, Miss Keri Roeder, Regional Vice President. Yeah.
It just really is a privilege whenever he asks me to be a part of this conversation, because one, he doesn't have to choose other leaders. You can't be a prophet in your own land per se, but I'm telling you guys, if all of us leaders look to Mr. Thomas as to learn what to do, then wouldn't it behoove you guys that you have him at full access to utilize every bit of information that he has? Income generating activities is what he teaches. Every level of success you have, he has. Therefore, he's not going to ill advise you. He's only going to tell you what is going to be profitable in your finances as well as other areas of your life. So thank you, Mr. Thomas, for letting me continue a conversation in the month of May with your incredible leaders and upcoming leaders. And hello to everybody. Hi. Okay, so to recap what we talked about 2 weeks ago, I asked everybody to, here, let me turn this up. I asked everybody to create a wheel. Okay, so I don't know if everybody remembers the wheel. Let me do it this way. I don't know if everybody remembers the wheel, but for those of you who weren't on, I asked everybody to draw a circle and then put spokes in and put different areas in your wheel of your life. And the concept is, a wheel has to be balanced in order to rotate, correct? And so what we were talking about, what we're going to continue to talk about today, is what fits in your wheel, what creates your balance. So for example, the wheel that I created last time, I wrote in mindset, and I wrote in body and health, spiritual, money, friends and family, and personal. And then if you can see on here, I colored in some examples. So this isn't how my wheel is, but just for example, let's say your spiritual only went to here. Let's say your mind and body went here. Your mindset was like halfway. Your personal was barely filled, right? Maybe your friends and family is almost all the way filled. And let's say your money is, 2/5 of the way filled. The concept is to try to get your wheel completely balanced. And I'm not saying all the way full necessarily, but what I'm saying is equally balanced in here so that your wheel can rotate and you can try to find some balance in your life. So let's start. We're just going to talk about what was in my wheel. Okay. And I know some of you wrote some things that were in your wheel, which is also great too. And if you want to do that, that's awesome. Because again, this is an engagement back and forth. But some of my notes I wrote, I'm going to start with mindset. Because here's the thing about mindset. Mindset is incredibly important in every aspect of our lives. And here's what I will share with you is this. I'm the youngest of 3, and my parents were 23 years old when they had me. My dad was a Vietnam War vet, and I only just learned about 10 years ago what he really did over at Vietnam, which really makes my childhood even more powerful in my mind, because I just thought he was the mechanic on the helicopter picking up, the people. Turns out there was more to it, but he came home and he got himself off drugs with my mom's help. My mom helped him get off drugs, and he became a law enforcement officer. He became a probation officer. And I was born, they were 23, and my dad raised me with the mindset that every day is fabulous. He turns 74 in a couple of days, and he still says that every day is fabulous. And he says this: I came home from Vietnam alive. My wife, took me back, basically. Not that they were apart, but, they were apart. She didn't move on. Had 3 kids, beautiful life. And even though he became a probation officer and he was dealing with what some people would judge as not the best people in the world, he raised me to say that, people who make bad decisions, that's a decision. It doesn't have to define who you are. Give them an opportunity to develop into who they want to become. And I share that with you because I think some of us beat ourselves up for past decisions when we really don't need to. Those are past decisions, learn from them and move on. Raising our daughter, she's now 18 and off in college, living on her own. By living on her own, I mean she lives by herself with her roommate, we pay, okay? But she's out there being an adult, right? Or a pseudo adult. And the idea is that the bad decisions she made as a teenager under our home, and trust me, she made some bad ones, okay? But those helped her develop and become a strong adult. And now that she doesn't live with me, I actually worry about her less because I know how she's messed up and that we've walked through that decision making and the alternative it could have been and all that. So I share that with you because whatever your past looks like, that is your past. And you get to choose to have every day be fabulous, okay? So for example, in mindset, sometimes people they get a flat tire on their way to work, right? And, they have to pull over and AAA or do it themselves, right? Whatever. By the way, AAA, much better, not expensive. Okay. Anyway, AAA comes, they fix your tire and then they go into work and they're just, yeah, I had a flat tire. I'm late because I had a flat tire. Right. And then at the water cooler, that's what they're talking about. At lunch, that's what they're talking about. They get home, they're kicking the dog and yelling at the kids because they had a flat tire that morning. Right. It's like, let it go. It is over. It's done. From the minute the flat tire is fixed, you can choose to have a fabulous day. My dad taught me you're entitled to bad moments, but not bad days. Get over it. The moment is over. Get over it. If you wronged somebody, go apologize. If somebody wronged you, tell them they wronged you. Give them an opportunity to apologize. If they do or no, they don't, whatever, move on. But, sometimes people show up the next day at work. Yesterday I had a flat tire. Goodness gracious. Move on. Every day is fabulous. You get to choose your mindset. Now, how do we have a powerful mindset? It takes work, you guys. It takes work to have power over your mind. Every time my daughter calls me and has something to say, I'm always like, don't give them power. Do not give them power. You keep your power or you take your power back. Do not give them power. So how do we have that control over our mindset? Well, when we create a routine, then it creates a habit, right? 30 days to create a habit. So same thing here. So create a routine. Now, not everybody, oftentimes they hear, get up early. Get up early and go do this. No, that don't fit for this girl. Okay, this girl likes to sleep in. Okay, if you are the early rise and shine, good for you. Okay, if you're more of my body chemistry where I gain energy, I gain energy as the night goes on, right? That might be your time to do it. Whatever fits for you. So whether you can do it in the morning, whether you can do it on your breaks at work or during your lunch break, or in the evening or at bedtime, create some sort of routine, okay? The other suggestion I have is to create a designated area, like a sanctuary. In our guest bedroom, I bought a chair. My husband bought me this really cool light that goes above you or, over you because he knows I like to read. I have my little footstool because for those of you who haven't met me in person, I'm 5 foot tall. So I have to have my little footstool so I'm comfortable. Okay. I have a blanket. I have a pillow. I have my little drawer thing. And all of my stuff is set up there. And that's my sanctuary. If you don't have that ability to create that in your space, maybe your home is full, or maybe you're renting a couch from somebody, right? Whatever. Find an area where it's your sanctuary, because the moment you go there, your body, your mind, your energy, your spirit knows. It knows what it's about to do. And you're able to focus and take in your personal development, however it is you're going to do. So my personal development is this. I have angel cards. So for those you don't know, it's just a stack of cards and whatever. You kind of just talk to your angels, you pull cards and gives you messages. Okay, so I start that way. I also have, how AC and events, they give us those cool booklets, right? So that's my ACN journal. So every day I write the date, and I don't write what I'm going to do. I don't do the whole I will, blah, blah, blah. I do the I am. I act as if, okay? So I write in my journal, and then I read. I read and I take notes for however long I have available to do that. So that's kind of my tidbit on mindset. Now on the body and health, and thinking about this, so we have brought in our daughter's college cat because the roommate didn't want her anymore. So now I have my daughter's 3 animals, and they wake me up at 6 a.m. So exercise. What kind of exercise are you doing? When are you doing it? I'm now choosing to exercise first thing in the morning, because if you're like me, my day gets busy and then I don't make myself a priority. So I get it done. Okay. Whenever you can fit it in to exercise, make sure you do some sort of exercise regularly and consistently. Are you drinking enough water? Are you drinking enough water? Here's what I have found in taking care of my dad. Most people are not drinking enough water. Are you constantly filling up a cup and drinking it throughout the day? Dehydration is a really big part of why sometimes people aren't successful in their thinking, in their decision making, in their energy. If you're tired, drink a glass of water. It will wake you up. Okay. The other thing is eating. What are you eating? How often are you eating? Now, here's the thing. I'm the first one that goes and gets KFC. I probably will today, because every time I say KFC, I go buy it. Okay, that's just how I am. Yes, it's greasy, it's gross, but it's good. Okay, so I'm not saying to deny yourself of whatever your version of KFC is. What I'm saying is, are you eating it every day? Are you finding balance in your food intake? Right? Because when we can find balance in however your body needs food, that also helps. So I eat, for those of you who've ever hung out with me, and the Kings know this because they're constantly offering me food, I eat every 2 hours. I eat very small amounts, but I eat every 2 hours, and that keeps me going. That keeps my energy going. But what does your body require? What does your body require in the way of food? And are you bringing in all the healthy foods? Okay, next on my wheel was spiritual. Okay, now every single one of us have different beliefs, and I absolutely respect that. And I hope that you give respect to other people too, if their belief is different than yours. So regardless of your spiritual belief, are you exercising those activities? Are you spending time developing that part of who you are? And if you don't have spiritual beliefs, totally fine too, absolutely. What are you doing in the way of like energy, or however you would define that? Because for me, and watching in my 50 years of life, sorry, I'm gonna have some water. In my 50 years of life, I've been kind of watching this for a really long time, because I very much believe in energy. So what are you doing to take care of yourself in the way of your spiritual beliefs or your energy beliefs? Okay, next on my wheel, I wrote money. Okay, let's talk about this. Now, some of you have jobs, some of you own your own businesses, and that's great. I think all of us are on this line to generate ACN income, correct? Okay, some of us are on this line to generate a little bit of money to be able to take their families on an extra, vacation a year or whatever, right? Pay their utility bills, all that. Some of us are on this line for the bigger extreme. We want the lifestyle Mr. Thomas has. Others of us are on this line for right in the middle. Maybe you want to keep your job or keep your business going, but maybe you need to pay for college, or pay off your parents' home so they can really retire, whatever, right? We're all on here for different reasons. But I want to talk about your job, and I want to talk about your business, if that's what you own. Are you spending so much time doing those things that you're lacking giving time to other areas in your wheel? If you have a job and you're spending more hours than what they're paying you for, you're building somebody else's dream. Yes, you're paying your own bills, but you're building somebody else's dream. If you have your own business like we did back then, and we still do now, but how much time are you dedicating to it that you're actually taking away from other areas? Now let's talk ACN. How much time are you giving ACN? How much time? Is it every day? Is it every week? And is it consistent? See, ACN is about being consistent over a long enough period of time in order to generate the success that it is you're looking for. So in the way of generating income, make sure that you're also balanced with other things as well so that your wheel can roll. Because if you're so focused on money and you're neglecting other areas, and funny enough, the next one is family and friends. Okay, so family and friends. Are you giving to other people? Are you generous of your time? Are you generous of whatever it is that your friends and family need? Because when you give away, the universe, God, whatever you want to say, will give back to you tremendously. So are we being generous? Are we being social? Right? ACN is a social business. We're in the people business. We want customers. We want business partners. So like Mr. Larry Raskin said the other day in a training, where are you putting yourself? Where are you making yourself available to be social? So again, be able to attend events. Like my husband said tomorrow night, we're going to go pay money to go to this fundraiser thing for whatever. But we're going because I'm like, ooh, I get to meet new people, right? Are you being social? Yes, I'm going for the right reasons, but I'm also going to go my eyes wide open, guys. I always do. Okay. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to talk about on my wheel is personal. And we talked about this a month or two ago when I was on. I was asking you all to make a to-do list of all your responsibilities, and I asked every single one of you where you fell on that list. I don't think anyone had yourself on that list, right? So I'm going to wrap it up today with this. Personal. I believe in energy. I do. I believe in energy. So may I ask you this? What makes you feel balanced? What makes you feel balanced? So for me, I have to have the dishes done before I go to bed. Okay. I have to have my kitchen clean. And here's why. If you come rob me in the middle of the night and the cops come, I want my kitchen clean. Right? Brad always makes fun of me. He's like, you're so stupid. When we leave for vacation, the house has to be spotless. He's like, that's the stupidest thing. But for me, in my mental capacity, I can't sleep if I know that there's dishes in the sink or the pillows aren't perfect on the couch or whatever, right? But what makes you tick? What makes you be able to go, okay. So because I believe in energy, if you're unbalanced, people feel that imbalance. So when you're out recruiting, when you're out asking somebody to become your customer, they're hearing your words, they're seeing your facial expression. But if you're imbalanced, they're feeling your imbalance and they're going, ooh, something's not quite right about this. No. But if you are feeling balanced, if you're feeling good in your energy, if you're confident in knowing who you are, if your wheel is in motion, right? Then when you recruit people, when you ask for customers, people are more willing to go, yeah, okay. And they don't know why, because it's an energy thing. There's just something when you can show up, like Mr. Al Thomas. I'm doing a leadership call later tonight with our team. And one of my notes is be, do, have. So for those of you who are going to be jumping on that later, we'll hear it in advance. Be, do, have. Be the senior vice president like Mr. Al Thomas. Do the work that he does and did and does in order to be a top producing senior vice president, and you will have everything that it is you seek. Because when I did the wheel 2 weeks ago, I guarantee you whatever he put in his little sections, he's balanced. Maybe not all the time, but he recognizes when he gets out of balance and he puts himself back in balance so that his wheel can rotate. So hopefully that's helpful. That's what I have for today. I'm looking forward to the next phone call. As always, Mr. Thomas, in our world, you are amazing. Walk on water. And by the way, as I always say, when I am the #1 top producing senior vice president kicking his butt, I will still love him, respect him, and I will still be learning, and all of these concepts will still apply to me. So the cool thing is that he's going to be celebrating me more than anybody when I'm out producing him. So I'm going to turn this call back to you, Mr. Thomas.